This is cool.
Like a lot, yeah.
The lights. I hope that we got good angles on everybody.
I think it's pretty damn good.
Okay.
I mean,
you're
pretty good.
darn good.
Pretty darn good. Right.
We don't want to have anything too good. I always like to have the.
I like it.
We're all branded up.
I do.
I got this. I also have my shirt just in case.
I love it.
All right. We're good.
We're good. I like it.
All this can get canceled. Or
What?
cut. It can all get cut.
I hope not.
Oh yeah. People love that stuff. Okay.
Woo!
You ready?
I'm ready. I was born.
Let's do it.
Ready.
Let's do it. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Omaha Sips of Tips. I'm Sean Lee, your realtor with Nebraska Realty, and I've got a great show for you today. But let me first start off with my guest, Andrew. I'll have him introduce himself. As soon as I just give you one little tip about this market this week, it's crazy. If you need to buy a home under $350,000, you need to have an agent. You need to be strategic. If it's not me, use somebody and be strategic and get out there and get you a home. It's going to be tough doing it by yourself. But here's my main man, Andrew Dedeker. Yes, welcome to the podcast. This is, in case you didn't know, this is show number 8.
Save the best for last?
We saved the best for last. Hopefully it's not the last.
No, best for 8. Gotcha.
Best for 8, yeah.
Gotcha.
Go ahead. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody here? We do have quite a few followers at this point, so it's good.
I like it.
Go ahead.
So I'm Andrew Dedeker, and my wife Hannah and I, we operate Simple Senior Solutions, based right here out of Omaha, Nebraska, the metro area. And what we do is we assist families in transitioning their loved one from their home when it doesn't work out to senior living, whether that's assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, independent, anything, for a situation that's not going to work out at home.
I mean, and we've been in a group together.
Yep.
For quite a few years here in the Millard Business Association.
Right.
So we'll kind of talk a little bit about some of those things, like when do people call you? Because I never even had an idea of the importance until I started getting older, and then my folks were getting older, and I was like, geez, how do people get all this done? And people get all this done because there's people out there like you doing all this stuff.
Right.
But first, let me get on to our first drink. And most people, if you've been watching this show, we're about wine, local distillery, local breweries. But you know what? Well, I found this top quality. I've never had it. This is for the show. It is actually brewed and taken care of, packaged here in Hastings, Nebraska. This is by the Ensign Beverage Company. It is kombucha, and this is hopped up green. So we're going to try a little bit of this, and we're going to see what it's about. It's kombucha. Apparently, it's healthy.
It might.
Well, you know what? Why don't you pop it and pour? Don't pour too much. Just pour a little bit. But I just wanted to say, this place, this is brewed. They call it brewed. It's a health drink.
Look at that.
Yikes! We're going to drink all of this. Hopefully it doesn't give us any bowel problems, but apparently kombucha improves energy, lowers cholesterol, and I got this all from their website. Lowers cholesterol, improves gut and heart health, detoxifies your organs. So if you've been doing anything I've been doing on this show, like bourbons, whiskeys, beers, wines, this is good for your organs.
I like it.
I mean... Okay, so and bright, healthy skin, and I need that.
So, are you telling me that you're gonna supplement these drinks every other day, or?
I mean, I don't know, but kombucha, hopped up green, Ensign Beverage, out of Hastings, Nebraska. Give them some love. Check it out. At least go to their website and say, hey man, where do I get this stuff? I actually went into. This is not a paid advertisement, just so you know. I went into Whole Foods. I had to track this stuff down.
You got Whole Foods?
Whole Foods or Cross Train Brewery.
Okay.
So I don't know how they mix, but Whole Foods. But before we even take a...
Wait, that's a good call.
It actually smells a little bit like an IPA.
That's not bad.
That's because it's so hoppy.
Right. I like it.
And these are not alcoholic. Well, they say because of fermentation, it's minute if there's any alcohol at all.
Right, maybe
Just
like
anytime-
0.05.
Yeah, anytime you ferment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
So before we take a little sip of this, you are married and you've
married,
got.
yep. We have three daughters, ages 10, 5, and 3. And matter of fact, Elsie, my youngest, is having a 3rd birthday tomorrow.
Holy smokes!
I know it.
Really, she was
I
just
know.
a baby.
I know. She's 3. She'll be 3 tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's going on. You recently moved.
Yeah, we just moved from Miller to Miller.
Well, we
basically,
used to be in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now you've moved uptown. He's upper class.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but
Okay, you moved up. Now you and your wife are you both military?
yeah. So both military. My wife Hannah, she did 10, 11 years for the Army Reserves, and she got out back in like 2013.
Okay.
And I stayed in for the benefits, of course, and many other reasons, but I'm currently still in.
Okay. How long has that been?
I have been in maybe 23 years, exactly 23 years. And speaking of Hastings, Nebraska, that's where we're going this weekend for some little military training. So we're representing
no
right
kidding.
now. Yeah.
Oh, so you're doing some training. Okay. Holy smokes. All right. Well, since we're on Hastings, let's take a little sip of this
All right,
stuff.
let's do it.
Again, this is Hopped Up Green by Ensign Beverage. Made there. Hey,
toast.
to you and your family and
Thank you very
little
much.
one.
Thanks
and
for having us.
Simple Senior Solutions.
Amen.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but
Amen, brother.
let's test it out. Oh,
Now that is not bad. That is not bad.
That-
I've had
this is amazing, actually.
I've had some other NA beers. I won't name them that I just don't care for, but this is definitely up there.
I mean,
and I do like a hoppy
It's
beer.
very hoppy. It's almost like an IPA.
It tastes good. Right.
With no nothing, and it's got nice bubbles and no bitter. Man, I like it.
It's not
good.
bad.
Good job. Good job, Ensign Beverage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ensign
He doesn't
Beverage.
have his glasses on. Let me double check this
Yeah.
here.
Ensign
Yep.
Beverage, right? Yeah.
Ensign Beverage. Yep.
Awesome. You guys, you know what?
Low sugar too. Low sugar.
I just read all those health benefits, and I do have a fancy thing in case you haven't watched any of the shows. I do have a fancy thing. I'll put everybody's name up and emails and stuff if anybody wants to give you a call. But that's good stuff. So I'm glad we got it. And it's cold. I have been icing it. It is so nice.
It was good. Good
Wow.
call. Good call.
Okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
take
Thank
it.
you.
We'll take it.
Thank you very much.
All right, yeah. Well, okay, so we've been in this group, Simple Senior Solutions. That's your company.
Yep.
And how did you get into it?
That's it.
You know, I've been to your website.
Yep.
Why don't you tell everybody your website real quick? If you need anything, it's
Yep. You can go to www.midwestomaha or www.sssmidwest.com.
okay. And that's you get all your contact info, and I'll put it up. But
Yep.
it's a pretty good, website just to say, hey, geez, you got a little blog on there. You've got information for people.
Yep.
What do you? How did you get involved in it, first of all?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I would have to say it goes back to my early years when I was in high school. Growing up in a small town, rural Nebraska, you had 2 choices, right? You could either work at the local grocery store, actually 3.
Okay.
Grocery store, you could work on the farm with
Baling hay.
Baling hay,
Okay.
cutting crops, whatever, or you could work at the local nursing home. And I said, you know what? I'm not really good at bagging groceries. My dad wasn't farming, so I went off with the nursing home, and it stuck with me ever since.
Okay.
And so I've always had a liking to the elders and just making their life better.
Okay.
And so this is how I got started.
Okay. And your wife, then, she just followed your. Is she like that too? Then.
So actually, funny story. We didn't know each other in high school, so we both grew up in the same county up in Cedar County, Nebraska. Where she went to school at in high school, she also worked at her local nursing home and in the kitchen dining area as well. And that's where I started as well.
Okay.
So 2 separate towns, 2 separate nursing homes.
Okay, so if you're listening to this show and people want to, how do people know it's time to give you a call? Do you know what I mean?
You know what? There's no right answer for that, but I think that the best time to give us a call is maybe, we just had this past holiday, Easter, right, where maybe loved ones were coming home and they noticed something different maybe about their loved one, mom or dad, who wasn't acting right, or just something wasn't right inside their house, maybe a bunch of spoiled food in the refrigerator, maybe the house wasn't upkept and mom was always tidy and clean. There's many different scenarios there, but usually when family comes home, they notice something's wrong with their loved one. That's a good reason to probably give us a call to see, hey, what can we do here to make this situation better? The other scenario is those unfortunate situations where somebody might have a stroke or a heart attack. Maybe it was icy, they slipped and fell outside and broke something, and now they went in and out of the hospital and rehab. That's a good time to give us a call. There really is no wrong reason to give us a call. The situations are miles long, and everybody's situation is different.
And to be clear, you help navigate people that may need to go to, whether it's independent living, assisted living, memory care. You help them find the best route, it's a full deal, because there's a lot.
There's a lot involved in there. I mean, if you talk about, everybody's finances are different. Everybody has a different understanding of what location of Omaha Metro they want to be in. Everybody's needs are completely different. When we're talking about independent living, right? It's just specifically designed for that, right? You're independent, but they have all these extra amenities. Maybe somebody doesn't want to upkeep everything at their own house. They don't want to do the cutting of the grass or the removal of the snow. That could be a good fit for independent living. Maybe we have somebody that is in need of nursing services where they can't maybe have the vision impairment and they need help with their medications. Maybe they can't get in and out of the shower on their own anymore because it's just not a good fit for them. Again, many different scenarios.
And you have tons of people that you have connections with that can help. Sometimes people do estate sales, or sometimes people do, I think we've talked one time about helping a family out where you need the contacts to get them to, sell all their stuff in their home and help them, lead them that way. What else do you offer people?
Yeah, so, that's a good question, but I also want to add this on top of that question is, we're not here to move anybody out of their house.
Right,
You and I both know that at the end of the day, when we get done with our jobs here, we're going to go home and we're going to enjoy our home. It's no different than somebody that has been aging in place and at their house. They don't want to uproot 50, 60, 70 years worth of memories from their own home. I get it, and so does the family, and so does that person that's living there. Sometimes those situations arise where you have to look outside of the home. But to go back off of your question, Sean, is... You asked me what. But going back to what you were saying is, what does that look like? What other things can we do for the elders? And that is, we have our own moving services, so we actually can assist somebody with the entire moving transition. So. We're not realtors. We don't do what you do, Sean. So that's where we're going to need you to come in and help us out.
Okay.
But we do help families get organized and transition to that senior living community that they have chosen to move to. And so we have our own moving trucks, and it's our own people, and it's our own moving team.
I mean, you're just an all-in-one type of a...
Yeah, but there's things...
Piece.
Right. There's just things we can't do. We can't do... We're not realtors. We're not in it for that. We can't do the estate sales, but we know people like you that can come in there to help out with that final piece of the sale of the house or the estate sales. So.
Okay. Well, there's a lot going on.
A lot. You're right.
I know that when, even when I'm talking to my parents. Do you suggest people start talking to their parents now, right? You want to have a plan. Do most people have a plan, or is it just like...
I would say maybe 5% of the population that I work with, they want to strategically put a plan together. just in case home doesn't work out.
Something happens.
There are so many different scenarios. I have this one lady I'm working with, love her to death. She is at just a regular apartment complex, and she's in that complex with a bunch of other people, obviously, and some of that population is younger, and they're making all this extra noise, the stereo, the blare in the stereo, and she's like, gosh, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want that noise. I love these kids, but I need to be around a place that I'm around my own age. And that's a good reason to call. So, but as far as planting seeds for somebody's family member or loved one, right, what I will say is you don't want to wait last minute, right? If you wait until something happens and then, God forbid, you have to make those crisis decisions, you might not be making the best decisions versus if you plan ahead, you put that plan together, you may not have to ever act on that plan. You have a fallback plan. Plan A is always going to be home. It's always going to be home.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But in those unforeseen situations, what's that person's backup plan? Right? That has always been my strategy, and I think that goes for me and for everybody else too. Like, hey, what's your fallback plan if option A doesn't work out? We want it to happen. We want it to work out. But maybe that loved one's family lives outside of the Omaha metro area, and that person doesn't want to move to Timbuktu.
Yeah.
Right? What do we do for that situation?
Yes.
Again, a lot of different scenarios. So it's okay, in my opinion, to plant the seeds early. Now, there might be a lot of backlash and say, absolutely, I don't want to move. I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
I am not moving from my house. No, period, right? No, Mom and Dad, let's look for just in case, right?
Yeah.
So there's no wrong answer there, but also, there could be definitely some backlash. So.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you always want to be planned and ready to go.
Right.
What's the process? And most people think, hey, listen, even for your parents, like my parents are older, what do I do? And people just don't know. And
I like that. What do you do? You call Andrew.
You call Andrew. What do you do? You call Andrew. You know what? We just made it up right here on this deal. I think that's your new deal. Your new slogan. You need a little slogan with a little music or something now.
Yeah.
You know what? I probably need a new slogan. Do you know what? Speaking of slogans, I need a musical slogan. So if anybody wants to write one that's cool with no bad words, I mean, that would be cool.
Email this guy. Email him.
Email me. That's right. And most people could check out this show. I get it all tagged up and everything. You can hear it on Amazon, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, any of those, Google,
right?
Whatever. So you can do that too. But it's better if you watch it because then you can see our faces.
That's right.
Like when mine freaks out when the phone rings, or
don't worry about
we
that.
take a sip of something that's really good. And this hoppy green is really good. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's just a drink that, you ferment a green tea, I suppose. I think that's what I read on here. And they add some probiotics,
the bubblies
and stuff.
Right. If I'm on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving this sucker a 9 out of 10. Seriously, it is up there. I like it.
Smooth.
I definitely will buy it after I leave here. I just didn't know that existed, number one. Number two, I didn't know where you could buy that.
Yeah. Again, it's a beverage. Kombucha, hopped up green. This is good. When I bought this, they have 4 spots. They have some new ones coming out too. Mm-hmm. They have 4 spots, and the hopped up green wasn't, people hear hops. Now, I like beer, so I hear hops. I'm like, okay, this got to be good.
Right.
But hopped up green was the only one left there, and I was like, geez, this stuff's selling good. So I just grabbed it. 4-pack.
I think you did a pretty good job.
Here I am. Good pick. And again, it's a Nebraska type of deal. Just like you're in Nebraska, Simple Senior Solutions. We're all local. We're just promoting where we're at.
Local, that's right.
We just want to keep that all together.
I think it's a good thing.
It's a real good thing. So what you got anything else coming up? You got any things that you do that you want to promote? or talk about?
You know what? As far as like promotion and things like that, I would have to say no, not really. But we are really, when I say Hannah and myself and our team at Simple Senior Solutions, we're big advocates for the senior population.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What constitutes somebody to be senior? I say 55 years and older. Right. Some people might say, well, when you turn after that 65 and get that Medicare card, that's when you become a senior, right? There really is no correct answer there. You could be 55, 60, 65, right?
Yeah.
But I just really want to, let the elders and the seniors know that they're really the definition of what senior living, nursing home was back in the 80s, 90s, and maybe even early 2000s, right? People have the wrong perception. If you went to a nursing home or a senior living organization in the 80s or 70s, 80s, and 90s, and maybe early 2000s, and you still have that stuck in your mind, I would like to test that person and say, hey, you should check out what the senior living communities look like now, right? They have everything that you need. Some places have the saltwater pool for aerobics. Some people most of them have the amazing gym where you can do your treadmill or you can do your scooter, whatever the case may be. Some of them have, scooters or Starbucks coffee inside there. Some people have the gourmet cookie. And so, there are so many different things that people just don't know about because in their mind, they already have it made up that senior living is not good.
Yeah.
And that is not the truth. We have come a long ways, and specifically in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that, and especially after visiting with you and going to some of these places. They're amazing. So if you don't know where to get started, and I think people probably my age, I'm not going to 20s, mid 20s, mid 20s.
No comment.
Okay.
Comment. So,
but you have that memory, just like you said. Hey, these are just places that very sterile,
right? And
they're pretty really nice. I can't believe all the stuff that's actually in them.
There are so many different options. You're talking 50 plus options just here in the metro area. Counting the Elkhorn area. Counting even further east of 180th and Dodge, where we're at, Nebraska Realty. And so going north, going south, there are so many different options. And sometimes families just don't know where to navigate. Well, I don't know. Maybe mom or dad would be better off in independent living. Maybe mom and dad would be, better off in assisted. So there's so many different variables. There are so many different questions that we ask along the journey, along this process. And how I look at it is it's like a book, right? When you open a book, within a reason, you're on a new chapter every once in a while, right? So just because people are looking into senior living does not mean that we're on our last chapter. It's a new chapter. It's a new era. It's a new day.
Okay. Well, that's all good stuff. And you're the professional who knows all those different options, and people should give you a call again with my little thing right underneath here.
Yep.
I'll put it right
there
here.
It
it's going to be right here. And SSSmidwest.com.
That's right.
SSS. Got that right off the bat. And the phone number is on there. I'll pull it up and throw it on there. Andrew Diedeker with Simple Senior Solutions. And give him a call if you have any questions at all. And I'm Sean Lee with Nebraska Realty. And I appreciate you checking us out. And go get you some kombucha from Ensign Beverage. And take care.
Thank you very much.
Hey, man.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for checking us out. That's it. Sit here. We'll finish this out.
All right. This is